In some applications, the same window may open with a different name each time, making it difficult to test repeatedly with the same Certify process. Here's a technique for solving that issue.
Hi, let's assume you need to deal with windows that have different names each time you run a process. For instance, you might be downloading files from a browser or using an application where the window name is dynamic. It's impractical to manually interact with or create tests for this changing windows in automation. To solve this, Silverlight provides a way to handle dynamic windows. To demonstrate, let's use Notepad as an example, and this method applies to any desktop application or an AUT that make use of system application in its end-to-end process. Before creating test cases, you need to configure Silverlight application to recognize the dynamic window. Load the dynamic window using Silverlight interface tool. Save the map locally and import it into your Silverlight application in Certify. When automating the test cases, choose Dynamic Window as the window and object. Use the find action to locate the window. Specify search parameters such as location, it can be current window or desktop, control type like window, and hierarchy depth children. Use a single attribute as a matching value in the match criteria to avoid a confusion or errors. Assign a moniker, a keyword that acts as a reference for the next step. After locating the window, you can proceed to execute further steps or actions based on your needs. In the demonstration, I attempt to enter text into Notepad. Therefore, after identifying a window, we need to locate an object to perform an action. Create a step to find object and fill in the parameters. In the search-in field, you must enter the moniker we used when locating the window, along with other parameters such as search for, depth, and one matching attribute. Use the moniker as a reference for the next step. Then select dynamic text box as an object and perform input action. Let's execute these steps. Right now you can see the window is labeled Docker with some numbers. After running the steps, you will see that execution was successful. Now let's move the execution pointer back to the first step and select the different file. The window is now named service, which is completely different from before. Despite this change, when we execute the steps again, they still worked as intended. This shows how the steps remains effective even when the window's name changes. There is another way to handle dynamic windows, and it will be explained in part 2. Thank you.
We hope you have found this short video to be helpful and informative. Please visit us online and on LinkedIn.